Sully is the new Clint Eastwood directed film starring Tom Hanks, Aaron Eckhart, and it's about this guy, Captain Chelsea Sullenberger, and he and his co-pilot Jeff Skiles are able to successfully pull off a forced water landing when a bird strike takes out both of their engines. And now a lot of people are treating them as heroes, like, yeah, good job, you saved all those people. But then there are people from the insurance company coming up like, hey, you could have prevented this, we ran it through some computers, you could have done something about this. And the rest of the movie is pretty much what happens after the events of that water landing. Now, I was really excited for this movie. You have Tom Hanks, Aaron Eckhart, it's based off a true story, and it's directed by Clint Eastwood, and the trailers look really good. To top it all off, I'm there. I was really excited to see this film, and I gotta say, it was very good. I really did enjoy this movie. One of the things I did enjoy was that it was interesting. I was really concerned going in that maybe this was going to be one of those movies that maybe goes on a little bit too long. Maybe it wasn't as interesting as maybe everyone else thought it was. No, this movie actually had me engaged throughout everything going on. A lot of that is due to some good performances, some good dialogue, and just some good direction from Clint Eastwood. And the movie actually isn't overlong at all. It isn't even that long. It's only an hour and a half. That was honestly really surprising to me. But speaking of the performances, Tom Hanks, it's very easy for me to just go, Tom Hanks is so amazing, but it is very much true. He does a fantastic job playing Sully in this film. He did excellent. And even Aaron Eckhart, I was really impressed by him in this movie. Not only does he have that really awesome mustache, but he is also really funny in this movie. And I think he and Hanks worked very, very well together. You could tell they had this pilot-co-pilot type bond going on. You could feel that kind of chemistry with their performances, and I really did dig that. Laura Linney plays Sully's wife in this movie, and even though some people are complaining she doesn't even leave the house, blah, which is true. Laura Linney did a good job in this movie, but she never does leave that house. It just makes you wonder. I bet they just went to Laura Linney's actual house and said, can you just please be in this movie? She was like, but yeah, I don't want to leave here. And then they just filmed it there. So the wife might not have been all that necessary to include in this movie, but she still did a good job. She kind of did assist some of the drama that Sully's kind of facing in this film. And speaking of Sully's drama, there's one scene that happens, and it's a dream sequence, and they kind of add in to the kind of drama that Sully's facing. And it was actually really well done, because I actually didn't know it was a dream sequence at first. I was like, alright, we're actually watching the actual scene, and then, oh wait, no, that can't happen. And then he woke up. I was like, oh, okay. It was really well done, as well as the overall plane going down in the Hudson River thing. That actually did look very good, very well handled, especially with the other character passengers on board this plane. They actually did a good job going into their mindsets, even if they weren't main characters, very, very much so minor. But they did a good job pretty much proving to us how amazing Captain Chelsea Sullenberger is, because a lot of people say you can't pull off a forced water landing and have everyone live, but they did. That's the true story, and they actually did a good job kind of showing like, oh, wow. And the visual effects for that scene also looked very good, and even some of those dream sequences still look very good. I do have a couple problems with this movie. The big one is just the movie is out of order, and I don't mean that that's a bad thing. Every movie should just go in chronological order. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it didn't really work out in this film, because the movie opens up after the water landing. So the characters are speaking this dialogue as if we, the audience, have already seen the scene, which we haven't. So they brought up some stuff where I was like, wait, what's that? Eventually they do show it, but I think it would have just worked out a little bit better if they just put everything in order. Because they cut from the present to the crash, back to the present, to Sully way in the past, and then back to the present, way in the past again. I just didn't really think it worked. I think if it played in just chronological order, I think I would have liked it a lot more. And also the actors who play the insurance company people, the people that are basically taking Sully and Skiles to court, like, hey, why didn't you prevent this? The computer says you can. They all did a good job. They pretty much came across as people who don't necessarily want to do this, but it is their job. They kind of have to do this to Sully and Skiles. So you kind of understand, like, I know you probably don't want to do this, I can understand, but there's one guy, I swear, there's one guy that's with them in the insurance. He's bald, and every time he just stares down Sully and Skiles, it's like an evil, menacing glance, like, I got you now. It's like, dude, you're overdoing it. You're not a villain. You're just an insurance company guy. The other people worked because it just seemed like, you know, Sully, we wish we wouldn't have to do this, but it's our job. We kind of have to take care of this. But then that guy showed up, and he was just like, Like, this face, this staring at them, like, what's your problem? What do you have against Sully and Skiles, exactly? And I guess that was their way of making those people kind of evil, just have that one guy, but I think it would have worked a lot more if they just came across as normal people instead of just all of them normal people except for this guy who's the only one really talking, always giving evil glances. And I do have one last flaw with this movie, and it's that the ending is very abrupt. Like, when it happened, it ends on a very funny joke. I will admit that the joke was funny, but when the movie ended after said joke was told, I was honestly really surprised. I thought the movie was going to go on a little bit more, and it was a little bit jarring. But overall, I did enjoy Sully a lot. I think the acting was really good, even though Laura Linney was in her house the whole time. I think they all did really good, except for that bald guy. Screw him, he's a douche. I do wish that the movie was still in chronological order, because I think it would have worked a lot more. However, I can't deny that I was interested in the movie, and it is short enough that it doesn't go over long, so I appreciate that too. Overall, I'm gonna give Sully a B+. It's a very well done movie. Clint Eastwood did a very good job. Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart in particular were spectacular in the cast, and the overall water landing scene was very impressive. In fact, I'd say that's worth the price of admission alone, watching that scene. But if you've seen Sully, leave in the comments below of what you thought of it, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.